Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is also to the Premier. Premier, today you've declared a state of emergency, a clear acknowledgement of the great danger COVID-19 poses to our island community. On behalf of every vulnerable Tasmanian, I say thank you. Overnight, the UK closed all its schools, joining governments across Europe and Asia in moving to stem the spread of this virus through their education systems. Tasmania has the oldest, sickest and poorest population of any Australian state. There is high vulnerability to COVID-19's most devastating human impacts. Premier, doctors, the ANMF, teachers and parents are all calling for school closures. At what point in this pandemic's progression in Tasmania will you move to close schools?
Thank you. Honourable Premier.
I thank Ms O'Connor, Member for Clark, Leader of the Greens, for that question. Look, I've constantly said that we are taking advice from the AHPPC on this matter. And whilst I note what has occurred in the United Kingdom, they are much further advanced in terms of transmission across their community than what we are. They are much further advanced in terms of the transmission across their community. We will continue, Madam Speaker, to take a precautionary approach. We'll act on the advice of the Australian Health Protection Principal Committee. That is the key decision-making committee for health emergencies and is collectively drawing all of its information and advice from the heads of their public health services from every state and territory on a daily basis and feeding into that process. The Education Department is working closely with public health. The situation, though, is obviously constantly evolving and we will take expert advice on a day-by-day basis. Now, if I could make the point, if there was a confirmed case at a school, that school would close. We've made that perfectly clear and that school would be appropriately cleaned. Now, Madam Speaker, it's important, as we don't know how long this circumstance will last. The measure that we've taken today, hopefully that flattens the curve and ensures that community transmission is kept at a minimum in Tasmania. But at some stage there will be community transmission. I think we can all reasonably expect that to occur. It's important, though, that we have that we keep some normality and routineness to what is occurring in our community.
Extend out the Easter holiday. Some weeks on either side.
We think that having that routine and normality, and certainly the advice that we receive, is beneficial as well for the mental health and well-being of young people, and importantly, for many in our community, the schools will be the safest place for their children. And I note that you get a nod for that. Look, we're providing fact sheets to parents. The department remains in constant contact with our schools. We've introduced precautionary measures, social distancing measures being adopted in schools, and obviously we've cancelled assemblies, presentation nights, excursions, travels, fetes, fairs, concerts with audiences, all sports, carnivals, and I'll get a smile for this, and school camps. Education Department as well has ensured that we've got obviously the contracts in place to ensure that we've got the appropriate supply of washroom products and soap.
That has been an issue.
And as I said yesterday, there has obviously been an increased demand, but we're working with individual schools. We will do everything that we can. I was asked a question this morning in terms of additional cleaning. We will make the necessary resources available so that schools can, if they need, contract in additional cleaners. We will not spare any expense on this. We will do what needs to be done. There are obviously, and at times there will be challenges with our supply chains. But as a government, we will do everything that we possibly can to make certain that our schools have what they need.